Hello everyone. In this session we're going to understand collections, and collections are specialized class for data and storage. There are so many, they are special class, and there it is available for ArrayList. Then we have stacks, then queue, then we have list, uh, hash tables, then we have linked list and various others. And it is specifically used for dynamic memory allocations. Well, for sake for an example, we have array, and that array is like something like this. We have array of 1, 2, and then 3, then 5, and then 6, and then 8. Basically, it is an array 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 6, and 8. Now, if you want to insert some element in between the array, it is not possible, right? It is not possible. You don't have any function which can do such thing with the help of array. Even if you want to delete any element in between the array, it is not possible. So that's why we have collections, and collections having these many functions. I mean, there are so many functions, but these are the generals. So let's understand. Today we'll understand this array list first of all, and then we'll proceed with others. Okay, so let's understand array list. So to deal with array list, or to deal with all collections, you actually import one namespace, and the namespace name is using system.collections. Okay, using system.collections, and this namespace is going to give you array list, stacks, queues, and linked list, and other things. Otherwise you cannot import those things here. So let's go through the array list, how it can perform, and how basically we can do a simple or you can say the functions of array. Let's say I have array list. I can create the object of this type, so al equals to new array list, and I will say basically this array list needs a capacity. You can see there are three overload method. One is no parameters, another one is iCollections, and it needs int capacity, so you can give the capacity to check this out. Okay, now by default capacity is 4. If you run this program, see, if you want to see the capacity, you can directly uh, import the function here, al dot capacity. Once you do that, you can actually you can have the capacity of array list. You can see right now it is 0, but now when you insert any element over here, let me say al dot add to insert one element, or to just give the element inside the array list. So if I'm giving 10, let's say if I give 1 over here, and then when I run this, and if I again just print the capacity, you will see it increased from 0 to some other value. You can see it increased from 0 to 4. Let me write it down. Initial capacity, and this is going to be next capacity, or let me take it as final capacity. Okay, when I run this, you will see initial capacity is 0 and final capacity is 4, and right now I had added one element in my array list. Okay, so is this the only capacity? I only have 4 capacity, or I can insert more. Basically you can insert more. See, if I have 1 and then I can add al dot, right now it gives you a 4 element space. It's something like this. Right now it gives you 4 element to insert 4 elements, so I can insert 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right now it gives you, this is going to be your 1, this is going to be 2, this is going to be 3, and this is going to be 4. Okay, so 4 element, they provide you 4 element, 4 space to insert your 4 element. I can insert 2 here, then let me add one more element, al dot add, let me insert 3, and let me also add al dot add. Now I'm inserting 4, something like this. Okay, so now if you run this, basically the final capacity is 4, right? initially it is 0 and I had insert 4 elements, so the capacity is now completely full, right? So when you run this, basically 4 element, you can actually, I haven't, I actually need for each loop to show these elements, show these inserted elements. So I'll say for each, and I have a where item in collections. I can take any variable over here. So basically I'm taking object type. So let me take any, actually let me say object, and then I'll say o in where in collections. You can see this array list is coming from system.collection.ArrayList. So basically this is your collections. Where is my collection is, where my collection is right now, it is in array list. So I have this object and I can pass this object over here. So I'll say al, and now I just need console.writeLine to show the object. So I'll say o, and then just, if I run this, you will see the elements 1 2 3 4 inside my array list. Now once I insert 4 elements, my final capacity is 4. Now inserted 4 elements. Now what if I insert one more element? If I insert one more element, al dot add, if I do that, you will see the capacity, there is a drastic change in the capacity, and you will see that. Okay, so you can see my initial capacity is 0 and my final capacity is now 8. So now what happens, you can see over here it is 0 and this is 8. Now what happens, once you fill all those 4 elements from here, once you fill all those elements 1 2 3 and 4, when you insert one more element over here, now it gives you a double elements, double space to insert. So this is going to be my 5, this is going to be 6, and then 7, and then 8. So now 8 elements you're having. Okay, it's something like, let me draw it in a good way. So initially it was 1, then 2, and then 3 and 4. Okay, so you had inserted a 1 over here, you have inserted 1, and then you have inserted 2, and then you have inserted 3 in the third block and inserted 4 in the fourth block, right? Now you want to insert one more, and once you insert one more element, right now the size is 4, right now the size was 4. When you insert one more element over here, something like this, one more element inside here, once you do that, ultimately this array size list is going to be doubled. Okay, so now you can insert 8 elements, 5, and then you can say here 6, then 7, and going to be 8. Okay, so now I have 8 elements to insert it. Okay, it is in the array list. Once you now the size is not 4, now the size is 8. Okay, now you insert 8 elements and you will see the final capacity is going to be doubled. So 8 plus 8 is going to be 16. You'll see over here. Now let me add more elements. Now I have 5 elements and I'm going to insert al dot add, let me say 6, al dot add 7, al dot add 8. Now these are my 8 elements inserted in the array list. Once you insert one more element, the capacity of array list is again going to be doubled. You see over here, al dot add, this is my 9th element inside the array list, and you will see initially it was 8, now it is going to be 16. See here, 0 and 16. You see, now if you insert 16 element, the size is again going to be doubled, so it is now 32. See, 0 and 16, and I have and basically I have 8 elements, right? Sorry, 9 element. 8 element is going to be 8 element, and then once you insert the 9th element, the size is going to be doubled from 8 to 8, 16. Now if you insert 16 element, and when you insert 17th one, this size is going to be doubled from 16 to 32. This is how array list is going to be work. Okay, now there are so many functionalities, like this is the add one, this is add. You had seen al dot add. Now in a very similar way, if you want to insert some element in between your array, Now I have, let's say if I don't have this al.add and I just have 1, 3 and 4 element inside my array list. I have 1, 3 and 4, okay. And now if I want to insert 2, how can I do that is with al dot insert, I'm sorry, al dot insert. And insert, it needs, one is the index and another one is the object value. So I'll pass the index, so the index is going to be 1 where I want to insert my second element. So index is going to be 1 between 1 and 3, and then the element that I want to insert, so that is 2. Okay, and when I run this, you will see 1 2 3 4. Earlier it was 1 3 4. Now as I had insert 2 in the index of 1, so 0, and this is going to be 1, and in between that I want to insert this 2, and that's why it has been inserted. Let's say if I want to remove this, you can basically remove with the help of al dot remove, and remove needs only the object that you want to remove. So if I pass 2 over here, you will see again, you see over here that initially it was 1 2 3 4. Now if I run this, basically again the output is going to be 1 3 4. See, 1 3 and 4. This is how ArrayList works, and there are so many functions. With the help of this dot operator you can use that right now. Okay, now there is one problem with this ArrayList is basically it is not type safe. How it is not type safe? See here, if I insert al dot, if I insert al dot insert, insert needs, one is the index, int index, another thing is needs object value. You see, the type is object, so I can pass anything. See, if I say let me insert at the second index, and I want to insert something, so I can insert like this string. I can insert this too. Even though I am inserting 1 2 3 4, I can insert any type because it is object data type, right? So when I run this, you will see 1 3 and this string and 4. Ultimately this is not type safe. I can put any values here. See, instead of integer, I can pass string. I can also pass float values. See, 20.05. If I run this, you will see this is again passed 20.05. So this is not type safe. Instead of that, we will see one another thing. Instead of using ArrayList, you can use something called as list. And list come and exist in collections.generic. It is not in collections. See here, if I take list, I'm sorry, linked list is not, if I take list over here, so this list is basically, I'm sorry, it's not working, but see here, list is a part, let me take int. I'll explain you this in my later sessions, but right now just understand that list is a part of system.collections.generic. It is not a part of collection. See, ArrayList is a part of system.collections, okay, and a list is a part of system.collections.generic. So it is generic type. It's not simple collections. So better than ArrayList, you can use a list simply, okay, because it is type safe. Whatever the type you provide, you can insert only that type and not the another type. So that's how you can work with collections and collections.generic. We'll see this list list type in the next session. Thank you so much.